we are at America Digital News with Hans Nikol, Head of Innovation at Philips. And let me ask you, if you have Wi-Fi and you complain about it all the time, you're going to like this short interview. Hans, thank you for coming to the Congress.
Thank you.
Please tell us, what is Li-Fi and why it is a million times better than Wi-Fi that we have today?
Let me first say I'm very impressed that you even know about it, because it's probably one of still the best kept secrets of the lighting industry. Li-Fi is an emerging technology that actually we in Philips Lighting are already using today in supermarkets. Believe it or not, we have installations in several large supermarkets in Europe for now, to my knowledge not yet in South America, where you walk into a supermarket and the light above you sends out a Li-Fi, basically a code gets to your camera and the camera can navigate through the supermarket. And the good thing about it is, you could argue, there are Bluetooth beacons, they can do the same thing, but with lighting, your accuracy is unparalleled. So that means, you can really exactly navigate where, you want to go. So this is already a first use of Li-Fi, but you were asking, you are fed up with your Wi-Fi, so you want to go for the next step, which is you really use light for higher bandwidth communication. That's, I think, your question. And that is basically the next step after what I just mentioned. And that is something we are, investigating. And the potential is huge, because Wi-Fi, the problem you have today is that the Wi-Fi band is very limited in its bandwidth. And if you want ever more connectivity, YouTube movies, Netflix, what have you, then you simply come to a physical limit. There's not more that you can do. On top of, if you have radio frequency, you get a lot of interaction, that basically interference, that kind of annihilates a lot of the bandwidth that you would otherwise have available. All of this is not the case with Li-Fi. So Li-Fi, first of all, has a much, much larger spectrum available. At least for now, it's also for free, whereas you have to pay a lot of license fees, basically, for the licensed spectrum. So there's a general, at least I would say at this point, insight that Li-Fi will play in the evolving 5G discussion an important role moving forward as additional connectivity moving forward.
How far are we from getting Li-Fi in a mass scale?
I think it's still, a few years out, but we are obviously working on this, because there are a number of problems to be solved. One is, first of all, if you connect, let's say, the light above your head, you need to connect it, on a backbone, because if the light just communicates, it needs to know what it communicates, so it needs to be connected, right, to, let's say, a cable, an internet cable. So that part needs to be solved, but we have some really, I think, cool ideas about that. And the other part is, how do you receive it, right? So today your smartphone is not yet capable of receiving high-speed Li-Fi. You need a dongle, as we call it, so a special device to do that. But mind you, that was exactly the case with Wi-Fi 15 years ago. None of your laptops in those days had also built-in Wi-Fi. You always needed to buy a special stick to have Wi-Fi. So this is basically Wi-Fi repeated, if you want, 15 years back. And we hope that obviously with Li-Fi we go through a similar stage, that eventually it will be integrated.
The main topic here at the Congress was, what if we have, if we transform every light in the city in a sensor and get information from it? So, what is the project that you are leading with it, Philips?
Sorry, what's the?
So what is the project that what is the outcome or what are the benefits that you want to provide for the city, for this smart city, for this connectivity of lights for the whole city?
So again, also for, I just gave a talk on this, for the connectivity of the lighting. we have to go obviously in steps, right? And the first step that we have taken is to make light poles, outdoor lighting connected using a cellular connection, right? 2G or now the evolving NB IoT, which is the next wave. And the first benefit is that you can control the light remotely. That sounds maybe trivial, but for a city it absolutely is not trivial because first of all, most of the cities don't even know where all the light points are. And then they often have different, very old systems how to control them. And often they cannot even be controlled other than just switch it on or off. With our system now, first of all, you get all of the lighting in one database. So we call this asset management. It's all cloud controlled, so this is very convenient for the city. And then you get all control opportunities you never had before, which is on-off obviously, but then dimming, scheduling, with the sunset. But it gets even further than, if you add sensors, then the light can basically react based on the sensor input. So we have done some test installations, for example, at night when there's nobody on the street, the light dims to a relatively low level. If the car comes, the sensor picks up, the car comes, and the light starts to lighten up ahead of the car. So these type of things will be possible in the future.
Which other opportunities do you see or do you want to apply for the small business?
So I think for the small business, very important is obviously also good lighting that starts with to simply that let's say a storefront can be recognized. And I have to say, we just talked about a project in a Chilean city here. If you see the quality of light, how it was before and how it is after with LED lighting that we provided, it's mind-boggling how big the change is. So not only is it a much better experience for the people, but also, let's say, for businesses that are nearby, because now people can really see at night what the business is all about. But that's, again, a first step. The next one is that you say, if the light is already available and can be connected, I can also offer free Wi-Fi, for example. And then if the Wi-Fi is put on a light pole that is close to a business, then the information, for example, for advertisement for this business can be localized to the location, of when I'm passing by, because there are so many light poles that I can really localize even the Wi-Fi offer to the people that walk in the street. So these are future developments that we are investigating, and I think this is great news for small businesses too.
Thank you for sharing all these ideas. Some of them are still under development.
Very clear, very early.
So thank you for coming to Chile and exploring.